Got some cooking action for you. The other day I was making some salmon and I saw this honey sitting in my cupboard. It's been there a long time. I never use honey for anything. And I just thought to myself, what if I put honey on fish? It sounded kind of gross, but I cooked it and it was just wonderful. I should be storing that honey upside down, huh? They say honey never spoils. That's been in there for years. So I was like, I'll just try that out. And it was just wonderful. It just turned out to be... I was going to make a video about it while I was doing it the first time. But in case it turned out gross, I didn't want to waste my time. But I should have just made the video. So what I'm going to do here is take some foil like so. After I ate it, I googled it, and honey salmon is actually a thing that a lot of people make, and there's a lot of different recipes, but that's not how I came across it. I just like to find things I have in the cupboard and just kind of throw them together. It's kind of fun. So this is some olive oil. Olive oil is really good for you. Salmon is really good for you. Now when you buy salmon, you want to use wild or wild caught. You never want to use farmed fish. When it's wild or wild caught, that means it's been out in the ocean eating the things it's supposed to eat that make it healthy for you. And also the fish lived its normal life out in the ocean. What's that, kitty cat? Huh? Okay, hold on a second. Alright. Leave me alone. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to drain the juice in there into a bowl. Like so. And let the kitty cats freak out on it. There you go, guys. I rinsed that out. So if you want to keep the raccoons out of your garbage, rinse stuff like that out. People often say that they have such a problem with raccoons getting in their garbage. Well, if you don't put food in your garbage, then you'll never have a raccoon. That's something I learned having cats in my own garbage in my kitchen. And dog. They'll stay out of your garbage if you don't put anything in there interesting. Their nose knows what's in there. So turn the oven on right now to 350. Get the oven preheated, and I'm gonna cook it for about 20 minutes or so. Sometimes I'll turn the heat down and cook it a little longer, and then the last few minutes I'll turn it up to like 400 or 450 to give it a good blast of heat. You know, I like cooking that kind of stuff well past the temperature it's supposed to be, just so it's safe all the time. But I'll flip it over. So now we got olive oil on the top. I'm gonna take some sea salt. Normal salt's just fine. If you just don't have sea salt in your cupboard. A lot of stuff I like to cook is just stuff I have laying in there. Just kind of throw it together and experiment. So I'm going to take this sea salt like so. Put that on there. Little salmon with my salt. I'm going to take some black pepper. So you just, in your mind, you might not think fish, salt, pepper. Lemon and pepper seasoning. And honey. You just put all this together in your mind, you just think it'd be disgusting. But this is just going to be wonderful. It's something you might go to a restaurant and willingly pay 20 bucks for. It's just gonna be that good. Put the honey on like so. That might take forever like that. Let's see if we can make some progress like so. Well, there we go. There's a clump that was holding stuff up, I think. Let's see. One of these days I'll get some honey out of there. They say honey never spoils, but I can tell you one thing, it's kind of crystallizing. I should store it upside down, I suppose. See in there. It's got kind of a sugary look to it. Oh, here it comes. No. It's definitely doing some kind of separating. There we go. I think the sugar is starting to solidify, if that makes any sense. Very important. The most important thing with this is when you thaw out the salmon, cook it right away. Don't let it sit around for very long. When it thaws out and it sits around too long, it really can get gross. It doesn't cook right. So this is something you want to thaw out and cook right away, pretty much within an hour or two, anyways. And then, of course, after you cook it, that's a dish you want to eat right away while it's delicious. So the first time I made this was a brand new unopened jar. So the honey came out perfectly. Now it's kind of stuck down below his neck. See, there's kind of a bottleneck there. That's kind of a bummer. I suppose there's more than one way to get honey out of a jar. Okay, come on. Come on now. You can do it. This honey will burn when it's off the fish, like if it goes off here to the side. It will start to burn, so you want to try to keep it on the fish. But I think that's going to melt down when it gets hot, so... Anyway, something like this. There we go. Uh-oh. Shoot, you see that? I just ripped the foil. That's no good. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I saw that. That would have been a mess. Dude, you're not helping. Stay away. He's been just off camera right there, bothering me. Knock it off, boy. Okay, so 20 minutes. I like broccoli to go with this. Broccoli's real good. Something like this. Broccoli and fish go together really, really good, in my opinion, anyways. Let's see. Save this piece for later. Got here, boy. Got her. Well, I'll tell you what, boy. Get a lot of nerve, kick it. I'm just getting it ready. I'll fire this up maybe 5 or 6 minutes before the salmon's ready to come out. And I'm gonna throw some carrots in there. I got some carrots laying around. Throw some of them in there, see how that goes. I've never actually had carrots with salmon. Dude, you need to stop touching stuff. Knock it off. You. Hey, you. Knock it off. What I'm gonna do is set this over here. And once you turn the heat on, if you have cats, I'm gonna turn this on to like low. This will be a little cat barrier. It's gonna keep them away from everything. Last few minutes here, I have the oven to 425, giving that fish a blast of heat. The salmon came from Walmart, skinless fillets, wild caught. And also something else I meant to say earlier is if you're a vegetarian, you may want to consider salmon. Salmon's not a bad product to eat because, quiet Grease. A salmon has a really short lifespan, and its natural life, it dies kind of in a really harsh way. It just kind of decomposes while it's still alive. So if they're catching like 3, 4, 5-year-old salmon in the ocean, their life is essentially pretty much over with. They've already lived it. So I know a lot of people are vegetarians because of the way animals are treated. But with salmon, a lot of that's avoided. Lots of times they're being caught and eaten shortly before they would swim up a river and just start turning into a zombie. So it's not really anything real bad. It avoids a lot of the issues with industrial animal products. But with that being said, I don't think it's a good idea for men to be vegetarians. Aging men, at 50 plus years old, not vegetarians, but I don't think they want to be estrogen based. Eating a bunch of soy, I think, is a big mistake for a vegetarian aging male. It's an estrogen based protein, and there's no reason for a male to be stuffing himself with that. I think it might be actually kind of bad for you. It's just my opinion. But salmon, I mean, you can be a vegetarian, but you need to be careful and get the right kinds of protein. For a woman, it's wonderful to eat soy, but for an aging male, you want to pay attention to the proteins you're eating. You want testosterone. Soy products are probably the last thing you want to be doing. But anyways, you can Google all that and look for yourself. See where we're at here. I think I'm starting to burn that honey. I was too busy yapping. See what I meant about, see how that honey's burning? That's what you want to be careful of there at the end. That's why you don't want to cook it too hot. I put that hole in the foil and it got onto the pan. If I wouldn't have noticed that hole, see, you can just see how that would have been an utter mess. It would have just been a disaster. So you want to make sure you don't poke a hole in that foil. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. So the presentation isn't like really awesome or anything, but cooking for yourself, who really cares? It doesn't look too bad though, does it? One piece of salmon came apart a little, stuck to that honey on there on the pan, but not foil. But there it is. What do you think? What do you think about that? Oh my goodness. See how we did. When you to find out if your salmon's done or not, ovens will vary, so there's really no set time. But to find out if the salmon's done or not, the honey's on there, so you can't really see. But you just want to kind of go like this, and when it starts to fall apart, see how that's kind of coming apart like that. That's when you know it's done. You don't want to overcook it for sure, but let's see how we do here. Oh yeah. Oh, that honey is so wonderful on there. Oh. I actually think next time, if I think about it, I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to put little cuts on the raw salmon so that honey gets down into the meat further, because it's just wonderful. Get away, dude. What? What? You a professional fish eater? There you go. There you go, bud. Huh? How do you think? It's delicious? He says it's delicious. Have some of this, like this. Well, I'm gonna get some salt out. And as you can tell, I like my salt. And get everything a good salting. I like my black pepper. Probably put a little butter on that broccoli if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I like the way that salt flavors it pretty good. So have one of those and one of these. Some of that. Oh, it's hot. Mmm. That's good. I think I'm definitely gonna try to see how that just flakes apart. That's when you know it's done. See that, how that happened there? Just fell apart like that. I think that honey's kind of keeping it together. But next time I'm definitely gonna rough up that meat and let that honey soak down even further. That's just wonderful. Mmm. It's delicious. Hey, let's take it down there, boy. Huh? Here, there's for your effort, though. So yeah, I was really surprised how wonderful that tastes. Honey and fish, I didn't know they went together. But if you Google it, there's tons of recipes and stuff. But anyway, I thought I'd just share this with you. Honey salmon. Oh, excuse me. Oh, a little piece of pepper floating around. Oh, sheesh. Okay, well, definitely, that's something that you could walk into a restaurant. You might pay $20 for. It's just that good. It's just that amazingly good. I was really surprised when I tasted it, how good it is. Anyways, that's enough talking. I'm gonna go eat this. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thanks for watching.